everybody, Brian here with E3 Overland, and we're going to do something really fun today. And we're here at the rim of the Grand Canyon. We're about 20 miles that way, and you're going to hear from Brad in a second. He's on the other side of this radio, and our friends at Midland Radio have really stepped up. They had sent us these brand new radios. At the time we're filming this, these radios are not even out in the market yet, and we're going to test these out. And here's how we're going to do it. So I'm here at base camp, and I'm using the MXT500. And these are the GMRS radios. These are the new ones. And these are 50 watts for an everyday consumer like myself. So this is the base unit here with the screen on it. And then I think Brad's got a different one. He's going to tell you about that one in a second. And then I have a little AC to DC power converter here. So we're just doing a 110 plug-in and driving this radio. So I'm excited for this. So we're going to go back and forth. Brad's in the car and he's in his Jeep, and he's going to actually run all the way out to the rim of the Grand Canyon while we're here at base camp, and we're going to go back and forth. And I do want to say that we're running the 6 dB antennas, so the ones that come from Midland, 6 dB, and they're actually pretty cool. I like them because I can unscrew them on my mount, put the little 2 dB on there, screw that back on. I can swap them off and on depending on what we're doing. So we're going to go ahead and try this out. So I'm going to give a holler to Brad here, and we're going to get the ball rolling. Hey Brad, base camp here. We just want to check in with you, and we are ready to roll on our side.
Copy that. We're heading out. I'm excited to see how far we can get with these radios.
Okay, and I'm going to just give everybody a little bit of the view of all the terrain you're going to be going through here as we're talking, and then I'll get back to you. If you can see behind me, again, we're about 20 miles from the rim of the Grand Canyon, the edge of the Grand Canyon. So if you can see out that way, all the hills and mountains, volcano, lava, rock flows there and things. So what's going to happen is Brad's going to start driving. So he's going up over the top of some of these hills and mountains. And when he gets all the way out to almost the rim of the Grand Canyon, he's going to drop way down all the way halfway into the rim. So that's a key point. So that's a point where not only is it far away, but we've got all these mountains and stuff between us and the point that he drops in, and then he's going to drop down in the canyon, and we're going to see how that works out. So he's got a 50 watt on his rig, I get a 50 watt here in the base camp, and we're going to see what happens here.
Base camp, this is Trail Recon. We are passing the airport, first mile out.
Okay, copy, 5x5 so far, and sounding good.
Reading you loud and clear.
So everybody, you know, while Brad, he just got out there, he just passed the airport that's down here on the property. So again, I just want to talk a little bit about this, because to me, I think these are going to be something really special in the industry. And these particular radios come with a kind of a little shorty antenna here. But I would suggest, but the base here, you can unscrew the antenna and you can put like the big 6 dB gain. You can put the little stubby, which are really cool. They look really cool. I don't think you obviously get as much range, but they look awesome and they work great for if you're in your own little caravan or something like that. But it comes with the shorty antenna here. But I would definitely bump it up to the 6 dB. What I like about the base mounts that Midland has, which is really cool, is you can just swap those out. So you mount your base on your hood or your roof or whatever, and then if you're just around the city, whatever, you just put the little stubby on there, or just take it off so nobody steals it or anything. But you can have the stubby on there, and then if you really need to get out there and you really need to, you know, use all these 50 watts, you could take that little stubby off and put the bigger antennas, just screw it right on the base. You don't have to mess with the base or anything. So it's pretty cool. I do that all the time on my rig. So Brad's on his way. He passed the airport, and we're going to check in with him in a minute and see how it's going.
So this is a super exciting trail. We are on the way to the north rim of the Grand Canyon, where we're going to see the Colorado River and just some epic scenery. And having a GMRS radio is really the way to go these days, because it's so accessible for so many folks, and there's so many Jeep clubs out there and off-road clubs that are converting over to GMRS. So it's a really great asset, but having 50 watts of power, man, I'm hoping we can get a lot of range on this. But this is going to be a great drive on the way out here. Base camp, this is Trail Recon. We are just now climbing the ridge, and we'll be dropping down soon. We are 2.5 miles out, over.
Okay, copy that, 5x5. So where he's at right now is, you probably can't see it, but there's a plateau in the valley here, and then there's a lava flow that comes down, and it's pretty tall. So he's going to go up over the top of that lava flow and then back down in a little bit of it. So he'll be over a hill in probably about 5-10 minutes. So we'll check back in with him as soon as he gets on the other side there and see how we're doing. It's a few miles out.
So we are not going down a smooth dirt road. We are hauling, doing some turns here, going over some sharp rocks, and so it's a jaggedy trail, but man, It's fun getting after it a little bit. We're going to put some miles down and see how the communication's going. This is a blast. Base camp, this is Trail Recon. We are hauling
and we are winding down this steep canyon. We've headed down a couple hundred feet. How do you read me? Over.
Okay, we still read you pretty strong. So how do you read us? Over.
Reading you loud and clear. Over.
Okay, copy that. How many miles you say you are?
We are 3.7 miles in, but we've dropped down in the valley just a little bit.
All right, cool. So you're already over the first hill here and 3.7 miles out, and then we get you 5x5. Great.
Copy that.
Hey Brad, this is base camp. Are you down the bottom of the other side of that first ridge?
We're almost getting there. We're hauling, but we've caught up to another group, so we've got to pass them here in a minute.
Okay, it sounds absolutely crystal clear. It sounds really good right now. I'm gonna explain to people where you are. So right now, and you'll probably be hearing from Brad on the other side, but you can see this rim way out there. There's this big giant hill ridge that is lava flow going across there. We talked about it a little while ago. So right now Brad's over the top of that, almost to the bottom of the other side. So even with our handhelds and things like that, it's really tough to get people when they drop down the other side there. So far so good. He's sounding crystal clear on this, and so far I'm loving this setup right now. We'll see how it goes. So everybody, while we're testing these radios and Brad's heading out to the rim, I just want to tell you, you've probably seen a lot of people around here. You see some incredible views behind us, and you probably hear some Jeeps and some side-by-sides and stuff going on. So we're out on one of the E3 Overland members-only events, and it's been awesome. We've done everything from riding out to the rim, we've done horseback riding, we've been skeet shooting, we've been shooting other really cool firearms. We've had some incredible, really great food here that the private ranch here has made for us. There's like all kinds of wagons in the back with really great beds that people can sleep in. We've been doing some giveaways. Brad's been out here doing some talks. We've been doing some education and things. There's some groups that are out hiking right now. There's some groups that are up doing some four-wheel driving. So this is like a really cool event. We're down south of Arizona, so we left out of southern Utah. We drove a couple hours on dirt road. So where we are right now, there is no cell signal. There is no internet. So we are truly off the grid. We're using some solar power and some of our battery packs and stuff to film this. But this has been just a great event. We do this every year here. We call this Canyon Without the Crowds because there's no tourists, there's nobody out there. There are no Hyundais or small cars or minivans because they just can't get there. I mean, you got to have somewhat of a capable rig to get to where we are now, and then a little bit even more capable rig to get down to the rim of the Grand Canyon. And then when you get there, it's just absolutely spectacular. So Brad had taken out some groups to the rim the first night and actually camped right on the edge of the rim. So we'll roll some shots in there, what that looks like, because it's absolutely spectacular. This is just an incredible trip. If you ever get a chance, unfortunately, they fill up within minutes once we open these up, but if you ever get a chance to get on this trip, you definitely want to do that. So Canyon Without the Crowds, the E3 Overland.
E3 Overland Base Camp, this is Trail Recon. We are passing mile marker 5, and
we are still dropping in the canyon. How do you read me? Over.
Okay, we read you 5x5 right now. Sounds great.
Sounds great. We leave you loud and clear as well. Having a blast out here.
Okay, so like we're saying, if you get a chance to get to this event, you definitely want to try to get here because it is just awesome. So let's take a quick break and we'll see how Brad's doing in a few minutes.
Base Camp, this is Trail Recon. We are descending down into the Grand Canyon for the mighty
Overlook, and we are just about 7.5 miles. How do you copy? Over.
Okay, you still copy pretty good, seeing the fact that you're over hills and some little mountain passes and stuff, and you're going down in. You sound actually pretty good. How do we sound? Over.
I can read you loud and clear, just a little bit of static, but correct.
We have gone up and down several times, but boy, I'll tell you, the views are about to get really nice down here.
Okay, copy that. So nice to know you're dropping down inside, so keep giving me a call every minute or two, seeing you're way down in the canyon.
Copy that.
Guys, you know, we've been hauling on this trail for the last 7 miles, but now it's time to slow down a little bit because when we come over this ridge right here, the whole rim of the Grand Canyon is going to come into view, and man, it is beautiful.
So to know what's going on right now, where Brad said he is he's right at the top of the crest of where you start to really drop down into the Grand Canyon. So like you said, he's out there past 7 miles already, and he's already been up and down a bunch of mountain passes. So he's down already on some mountain passes and just dropping down in. So he's just dropping down into by the Colorado River. So it's going to be interesting to see if we still get him. I'll be surprised if we even get him halfway down, because it's like a pretty massive drop. There's some switchbacks and stuff that goes all the way down. So he's on the other side of that from where we are right now. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can still get him even halfway down that backside.
Look at that. The whole coloration and all the rocks. You got all the jagged canyons. Just goes for miles and miles. Wait until we get to the bottom, the Colorado River down there. Oh, it's beautiful. I love this place. This is so much fun today.
Brad, base camp, you copy?
Yeah, I copy you loud and clear. We're just about mile marker 8 right now.
All right, copy that. Are you about halfway down in the valley?
We're still making our descent down, so we can see the canyon in the view, but we're closing in on the Colorado River here pretty quick.
Okay, great. You still got you, so that's good. It's a little bit of static, but we still can
read you loud and clear and hear you crystal clear.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, considering that we are 8 miles out through this terrain and still
got this kind of communication, that's pretty amazing.
All right, cool. I just explained to people where you are and how that drop down into the canyon is. So hopefully on your side, you're showing people on your side what that actually looks like.
Oh yeah, we've just entered the area where you can
see all the colorations in the rocks, all the jagged edges. The Colorado view is going to come into view here. The Colorado River is going to come into view here real quick.
All right, cool. I'm actually surprised we're still talking to you, so just hit me back when you get down there.
Copy that.
What I don't know, and hopefully some of the radio folks out there will tell us, like, you know, I've got it on top of a AC to DC unit, you know, just kind of hooked in here to just test this out. You know, it could be, hey, what I'll do is we'll move this a little bit. We'll just see if we're getting any interference or anything. Hey Brad, this is base camp. How do you copy? Over.
Still copying you loud and clear. We're coming up on mile marker
9. We only got 2 miles to go, and I'm reading you well.
Okay, great. I actually just did a little bit of a change up here, moved the power supply away from the head unit, and boy, you sound totally different. It's like crystal clear. So pretty impressed, and I don't know if I did something wrong in the base unit here with the
power supply being right on top of the radio. Hopefully you know this stuff more than I do, but I'm pretty impressed so far with it.
Yeah, I'm super impressed. I mean, we're GMRS 50 watts. How amazing is that? And we're able to talk at 9 miles through all this stuff.
I'm really impressed with these Midland GMRS radios.
All right, copy. I can hear you guys are actually bouncing on the trail down there, so I'll hit you back in a bit.
Oh yeah, we're having a blast out here. Probably 2 more fun than we should be having.
All right, copy that. Boy, you're just clearer right there than you were when you left.
You can see the Colorado River from right where I'm at right now, too.
So we are dropping down into the canyon now. The Colorado River just came into view. Gosh, this is beautiful up here. What an amazing place. And these radios, how clear is it? We're at 9.2 miles. I've been talking to him like he was right next to me. This is awesome. We're going to check in with him at about the 10-mile marker as we drop down a little bit further and see how we go. Look at the river. It's beautiful.
Base camp, this is Trail Recon. How do you read me? Over.
All right, we still read you good?
We can understand you clear. No problem.
Right on. We just passed mile marker 10. The Colorado River is in our sights. We've only got a mile to go.
And we'll have reached the rim of the North Grand Canyon. This is amazing. I can't believe we're talking like this.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty clear. I mean, a little bit of static, but given the fact that you're over all those mountains and dropping down in, it's actually really, really impressive.
100%. Just a little bit of static on this end, but
still easy to hear you.
Brian, do you read me?
Yeah, I got you. No problem.
Okay, we're gonna set up a shot when we're almost here. I'm gonna get outside the vehicle, call you on the radio, and he's gonna get outside the Jeep while I'm talking to you. So we're just gonna stage a little shot here on the Grand Canyon.
All right, copy that.
So we have been going up and down all these beautiful canyon roads, and we are finally here at the rim of the Grand Canyon overlooking the Colorado River. You know, many radios would have a hard time reaching out this far. We're 11 miles out. Let's see how well they hear us. Base camp, this is
Trail Recon. How do you read me? Over.
We read you about a 4x5, crystal clear and just a tiny bit of static.
Reading you Lima Charlie. Charlie. Just a slight bit of static, but considering how far we out and how diverse the terrain is, I'm very impressed with these Midland radios.
Yeah, no doubt. Sounds great. So I'm gonna go ahead and close it out on my side. You go ahead and close it out on your side.
Sounds good. We're gonna head our way back and we'll see you in a bit.
Okay, copy that. Over and out.
Man, that's impressive, y'all.
Brad is at the bottom of a big drop off halfway down into the Grand Canyon right now, and he has the 575. So he has this unit version with all the controls on the mic. Yesterday I had this particular radio inside my truck when we were heading out here, and I was 13 miles in the other direction at one of what we call a schoolhouse, and Brad could hear me where he is right now in the Grand Canyon. So he could hear me 13 miles that way from where I am right now, and he's another 11, 12 miles and down all these hills and valleys and then drop down in the Grand Canyon. So pretty cool. I'm definitely going to make sure that I get to keep this radio. I know Midland said we're supposed to send him back to him, but I think I'm going to call him and say, I'm keeping this radio. See you on the other side, guys. Take care.